all in. Gives him a straight. From Bergen to Bornholm, from Copenhagen to Kiruna, who will be the Nordic Poker King? I'm Mike Carlson, with me, the poker professor Pete Singleton. It's the first week of the final month, and let's meet the 6 players, starting with Stefan Prus from Denmark, a computer graphics animator.
Yeah, a metal fan, I think we can call him, Mike, and that might be obvious by his attire.
Lasse Højvik's only 24, but already he's playing poker online full-time.
Yeah, semi-pro, possibly no clown here, though.
Glenn Schiller's our celebrity wild card, the former football player from IFK Göteborg.
Yeah, maybe we can use him as our agent, because he's a football agent as well.
Anders Walseth from Norway works in a health club. He's a carpenter, and he's only been playing for 6 months.
Yeah, not a regular player, just plays poker as a hobby. Good luck to him.
Nicholas Holmstrom, a student, 18 years old, like so many students, finds 20 hours a week to play poker.
Well, what can we say?
Nothing, Pete. And Frank Larsen from Denmark is a company manager and rents out equipment.
Yeah, and Devon Kettlerfish, I think he's an aspiring pro player, this guy.
Let's play some poker. Thomas, shuffle up and deal.
The dulcet tones of the big bald man will start the game. Each player starts off with 10,000 in chips. The blinds start at 100 and 200. The blinds come from the 2 players to the left of the nominal dealer, indicated by a dealer button. The real dealer, of course, is Thomas. The blue chips are 1,000. The reds are 100. Nicholas Holmstrom, first to speak, and he's got an ace and an 8 and folds it, and that's kind of strange, Pete.
Yeah, playing probably a bit nervous maybe this early on in the game, Mike.
Raise.
Frank.
400. 400.
Frank Larsen with a 10 and a jack.
Stephen, you speak.
Stefan Prus with a suited 6 and 7. And now on the button, Lasse Højvik with queen 6. He folds. The small blind, Glenn, he's already got 100 in the pot.
Glenn. Fold.
He folds. And the big blind Anders, he's already got 200 in the pot. So it's 200 to him.
Anders, 200 to call. Fold.
And he folds as well. So we'll see a flop with just 2 players now. Jack 10 suited for Frank, 6-7 suited for Stefan. And the computer tells you it's about a 60-40 shot. So Stefan's got 2 opportunities to hit inside straights. And you see it's gone to about a 50-50.
Yeah, and this guy takes his poker very seriously. I think he aspires to be a semi-pro, this guy, Mike. So,
400.
And he's showing there by betting it.
Stephen?
Raise.
And Stefan's not fooling around either.
No, he says, have you seen the way I'm dressed? I'm a metal fan. Goss, I think they're called in the UK, but...
Well, he comes from Van Loos in Denmark, so he was born to Van Loos.
Oh, no.
Total bid 1,200.
Certainly strikes a certain kind of image in people's minds, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, Van Loos in Danish means Waterloo, and he may have hit a Waterloo right here. Of course, he could get lucky.
No, I think he might get the guy out.
Yeah.
I think he might get the guy out. We'll see what Frank thinks of it.
We don't see that much action usually on the very first hand here at the Bet24 Nordic Poker King, but Frank Larsen now folds, and he does good play, and already we know one thing, Stefan Prus has some plays in him.
Lasse, first speak.
So nice.
Raise.
He's going to bring those in with a raise as well.
Total bid.
Just like last time.
Raise 4.
600 again.
Bit of deja vu, wasn't it?
Deja vu all over again. King 9 now for Anders.
Fold.
He's gone. Normally a fairly good hand. Ace 9 suited for Nicholas. Now he could want to stay around.
Sitting on the button, in a reasonable position with it. Won't know how he stands card-wise.
Frank.
He calls. Frank's gone with 3 and 4. And Stefan? 7 and 10.
Stephen.
The Goth.
Fold. 2 players.
Well, 2 clubs out there for Lasse.
Yeah, nice flop to his hand.
First speak.
But a pair of 9s for Nicholas.
Lasse will probably be able to put a lot of pressure on Nicholas though if he wants to continue in this flop. We'll see.
500.
And that's what he does.
Nicholas.
500. Nicholas with the middle pair.
He's in front as we can see. He's playing it very bravely, Mike. He won't know how good his hand is, but he decided to take a chance.
200.
See if he can put some pressure back on Lassie.
And now look at that look. There's a go ahead and play me if you dare look.
Yeah, Nicholas plays a lot of his plays are internet-based play, so maybe not so comfortable in the live arena.
Well,
yeah, he's going to have to fire again if he wants to keep hold of it.
Lassie checks.
No.
And Nicholas can probably drive him now.
Maybe. It's inside straight draw also with the ace-jack for Lassie. Nah, he's letting him see 1
checks
free.
it back, so that's bad. And he's hit the set of 9s. So it turned out to be a good move. But Lassie now has nothing, so...
Yeah, he might have to make a bluff at it, Mike. He might have to make a bluff at this one. Let's see what he does.
It's the only way he's going to take it.
He might read Nicholas for a draw that he's missed and might make a bluff at it.
Nicholas?
No, he's not.
He checks.
Bet.
And Nicholas bets.
He avoided a trap there, Lassie.
He did, because there was... The only way he could take it was with a bet, but there was no way he was going to drive him off the set.
Deal it.
Is he going to call?
Well, he can't just call. Was he thinking of putting a raise in?
Yep, he's raising.
Yeah, he can't just call.
Total bid 3,200.
He'll get called by Nicholas at the end of this, but it's a brave play from Lassie, but that wasn't the card to represent. He's represented the 9. That's what he's saying to Nicholas. He's saying, look, I've got the 9. Little Lizzie to know that Nicholas is
just put 2 in there.
got the 9.
Nicholas thinks about it and calls, and now Lassie Hoivik's going to discover that he's been beaten down. And he knew it. He knows it because he was on a bluff. And there it is, the set of 9s for Nicholas, and that's the biggest pot of the tournament so far. And Nicholas is going to move up into a very comfortable chip lead, 16,000 for him, and it's going to move Lassie just below the 5,000 mark. And so already Lassie's in a little bit of chip difficulty. The button moves in front of Glenn. That means that Frank is first to speak, and he's got a king-jack.
First speak. Raise.
He's going to bring those in with a raise, find out where he stands.
Frank's first move, I think, Mike, wasn't it?
Yep.
It's not very quiet so far.
Raise 4.
Well, his first on the first hand, he got hammered by that man, Stefan Proust, but Stefan hasn't seen a lot since then. Lassie is gone. Glenn, Queen 3 on the button is gone. In the small blind is Anders with a suited Queen 10, so he'll call.
500 to call.
And Nicholas.
Anders perhaps showing his inexperience with this Queen 10, to be honest with you. He might be getting himself into a bit of trouble. He's out of position. Got the worst hand as well. We'll see. Flop might save him.
Well,
kind of saved
comes
him.
Close. Gives him an up and down straight draw.
Check.
Now is Frank going to put the pressure on him? Got 2 overs to that flop. Might well do. We'll see.
Bit.
There he goes.
Now, if Anders had bet before the flop, could he have driven Frank out, or he would have gotten called?
Possibly, yeah. No, if Anders had bet on this flop, we probably would have got Frank off it.
Raise.
Well, it's not bad play from Anders, though. Look at this.
Well.
200. Raise 6.
Raised him on the come, as they say, on the draw.
6.
Frank realising the strength of his position. See what the turn brings. Wow.
A pair of jacks for Frank, but...
Massive trouble for Frank at the same breath, because Anders has just locked him out.
The worst. He could have made that straight up or down, and up was the dangerous way for Frank. If he was watching Anders, he would have seen a good reaction.
Yeah.
That would have told him that, but the bet does anyway, and so Frank does fold, but Anders well played. So that puts Anders up into second place, just behind Nicholas Holmstrom. This is our 9th hand, and the blinds are still at the first level.
Thank you.
First to speak, Stefan Proust, who won the very first hand and really has been very quiet since then.
Fold.
But he showed he had some plays there. Lassie, trying to work his way up from the bottom. Glenn now, ace and a 5. Is going to call.
Alice.
Just ahead of the button. Anders on the button folds the Queen 5. Nicholas.
Call.
He's going to stay in with the Queen with the 10-4.
Check.
And Frank will stay in with a check, 4 and a 6. 3-way flop. Glenn is the player ahead. Well, pair of 4s for Frank, pair of 5s for Glenn.
Nicholas.
Bet.
Bit.
Pair of 4s for Nicholas as well.
Yeah, he's betting him, but
600.
I think he's virtually sure to get called by Glenn. But we'll see. Glenn might let this one go.
Frank's gone.
Clint.
Might read him for the king, but wouldn't
Call.
think so at this stage.
Raise.
That's it. Excuse me, that's a call.
He meant to raise, but it's too late. He's put the chips in and then said raise afterwards, so it just goes as a call now. Well, that'll send a shudder down Nicholas's spine. It'll do the job.
It ought to.
It looks a bit nervy, Nicholas. Gives him a wing. Oh, well, then.
And Glenn's just hit his ace as well.
Well, if Nicholas wasn't worried before, he'll be worried now.
Yeah, Nicholas checks over to him immediately.
Raise.
1,000.
And Frank raises bets 1,000.
Yes.
Nicholas will think, well, he wanted to raise the flop, so there's no point in me hanging around now. He won't know they just hit the ace as well.
Synd svensk.
Yep.
Pop.
He folds. Yeah. So Glenn takes a small pot, and
There you go.
that'll give him a little confidence. That's his first one. The blinds have gone up to 200 and 400 on the 12th hand. Lars Foss is still awake behind the table after 11 hands. He's doing well.
He's not kind of awake. He's just sort of sleeping comatose upright, I think, Mike. But
Anders folding the king.
we'll prod him if we need him.
There's another king gone.
Frank.
Deuce 9 is gone. On the button now. Stefan Prus hasn't seen a lot of cards since the first hand, and he's gone. Lassie, there's a
Yes.
third king.
Nice.
Race.
Yeah, this guy's an aspiring pro player, isn't he? He's putting the pressure on the other blind. There's only the 2 of them remaining. So you can see it's not the cards. It's just the fact there's only got one player to beat. And if we look at the cards, as we'll see,
900 total. 500
it's counterfeited.
Ace 4.
Yeah, both got the same card, but better kicker with Glenn Schiller.
And as we know, but Lassie can't, 2 of the kings are already gone. They've already been burned.
Might have to represent.
Pair of queens and a 9 on the flop.
Generally not the time to represent when it comes like this, but Lasso probably will. Yeah, there he goes. Just put the pressure straight on Glenn.
And Glenn's not buying it.
Clint, you to speak.
Raise.
Race.
Nice play from Glenn, this one.
Total bit.
Raises it back.
Race 2.
Suspects he's ahead.
Yes.
Doesn't know how far ahead he is.
Yeah, he's not suspecting it yet. He's bluffing him. Lasse is represented, and Glenn's saying, I'm having none of this. You're just trying to outplay me here. Put a raise in. Good play, that one.
Hand 13. Blinds at the second level. Nicholas, the chip leader, first to speak with an ace 10.
Call.
Showing a bit of an experience with that one, but may work out.
Or it may not. Frank with an ace queen.
Yeah, it might work out well for him, actually, not raising it.
Stefan,
Stephen.
Fold.
Fold.
still waiting for some cards to play.
Lasse.
Lasse,
Fold. Clint.
Glenn with a king queen
Call.
is going to call.
No, it's just 2,000.
And Anders is going to make this a 3-way flop because he's gone. So a 3-way flop, ace 10, ace queen, king queen. A lot of possibilities there.
Fold.
Excuse me. I was convinced he was going to stay in. It's going to be a 2-way flop now. Ace queen, king queen. So Frank even more comfortably in the lead head-to-head against Glenn. And there's his ace.
And Mike Carlson's predictions can be read at www.wedon'talwaysgetitright.com.
Yes. So Frank with the pair of aces.
Not really much point in Glenn hanging around. Looks like he might be thinking of putting a play on Frank, but don't think he's going to get away with it. We'll see. Discretion is the best part of valor, they say.
Cool.
He's decided to hang around.
Okay, Glenn.
I'm not sure why.
Maybe a bit of an experience on Glenn's part. I can't see where he's going with this one.
Clint, first pick.
Check. All in.
Frank.
And Frank is not fooling around anymore. Gets all of his chips in there. It's only 1,100 more for Glenn to call, but no point in throwing good money after bad. He folds, and Frank takes the pot.